Right, so protest is now illegal then, folks, as Royal Assent was hurriedly rushed through for the Public Order Bill yesterday, lest Republican types deign to ruin Charles's special day, clearly only rubber stamping this into law as quickly as he had with his sausage fingers to suit himself. Can't have these anti-monarchist sorts detracting from all the public money he's opted to have lavished on himself. Though from what I hear, the weather might do that anyway. Thunderstorms are forecast. So much for the whole being ordained by God shtick the royals have, in which case, hey. In all seriousness, though, this is straight up assault on freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And if you really think it's all to stop those gluing themselves to roads or handcuffing themselves to railings, you really haven't got the half of it. The UN, United Nations, have urged for this legislation to be reversed on the grounds that it is incompatible with the UK's human rights obligations. Right to freedom of expression is, of course, enshrined in that. And we're not talking about migrants here necessarily for a change. This affects all of us here, too, and our protections under the Human Rights Convention. It also risks criminalising our human rights to peaceful assembly and association. So watch this space before it gets turned on the likes of trade union picket lines. It's not like the police don't already have powers to detain or arrest anyone making a public nuisance of themselves. They do. All this bill seeks to do is criminalise anybody engaging in their right to protest, still protected under human rights legislation as they would be, which, being older and internationally recognised, would supersede this piece of petty fascism trotted out by the Tories and signed off by His Royal Majesty, Mr. Vane. It's funny in a way, though, that the royals are supposed to epitomise everything good about being British, yet the Human Rights Act was authored in large part due to us here in this country and should also epitomise, therefore, British values, you would think, as should upholding the rights it protects, such as that right to public expression and the right to freedom of speech. Values the royals as figureheads for this country should champion, and they've just got in the gutter with Suella Braverman in a blatant show of serving their own bloody interests here over this blasted coronation. Protect people from violence, sure, but when it's peaceful protest, and protest is meant to disrupt, of course, then it becomes far more sinister than that. Don't look at this and think, good grief, we're descending into fascism here, because with laws like this, we're already there. Braverman has, of course, crowed from the rafters over it. She calls it the stopping of disruption by those employing guerrilla protest tactics, which conjures up images of John Rambo sellotaping himself to the M25. It's just ridiculous. Appropriate penalties consisting of stuffing our already, appropriate penalties, they think, consisting of stuffing our already overcrowded prisons, which are run badly, privatised as they are, profits before prisoners. There's a nafty slogan I just thought of. But when they're already overcrowded and you want to sentence people to 12 months imprisonment for disruptive demonstration, 6 months for locking on to people or buildings, and even arrest people before they've even done any protesting, if they suspect they might be about to start. Gag before you've opened your mouth. I mean, come off it. We're in Minority Report territory again here, aren't we? Being arrested for thinking about protesting. Don't you dare think about it. None of these would be held up in a court of human rights, and anyone backing this law change or enforcing it is making this country look shamelessly petty and small. And that not only includes the idiot Braverman and her team and the rest of this rancid Tory government, but also a royal family headed by a man who is determined to be adulated by you, whether you like it or not, mostly not, and those supporting this. You might get environmentalists off the road on your way to work and be glad of it. But next time you're in a pay dispute and they've come for you next, be careful what you've wished for, and for God's sake, get off your knees. Unless you've glued yourself there, obviously, a bit more difficult. Nothing in this bill is well defined, though. Ultimately, it is heavily subjective, and that gives enormous amounts of wiggle room to those charged with enforcing it. The right to protest is fundamental to our democracy. Suella Braverman's words in her own glorifying video, but she doesn't mean a word of it. This law is proof of that. It's so subjective, you could easily be done for holding hands if you called it a protest. That is where we are. It only takes one person to moan about it. You have to remember why people protest to begin with, to highlight an issue they feel is being ignored. And this is the last resort to get some attention paid to it. The Tories, instead of choosing to listen, have chosen to criminalise instead, and Charles gave it his seal of approval. Mind how you vote in the local elections on Thursday. Remember this on Coronation Day on Saturday, and in the immortal words of the Hound Sandor Clegane in Game of Thrones, fuck the king. I wonder if that'll get me arrested now. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated this video, please do hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment and hit the notification bell too so you don't miss the next one. Also, look out for me on social media and other interesting stuff by clicking on the link tree link in the comments below. And I will see you next time. Cheers, folks.